Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Elizabeth, and this is Reading Riley. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing two books. Let's go on a journey, shall we? We're going to start with Ready Player One. I'm going to reread this and tell you my thoughts all along the way. After that, I will be reading Ready Player Two by Ernest Cline. And we're going to discuss many thoughts about this. So let's do it. Okay, so I'm filming on my phone. And I don't know how to do this yet. I'm new, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to do it this way or the other way. I think if I do it up and down, it's not going to work. So I'm going to figure this out as I go. Yeah, I'm excited to get into Ready Player One for the second time with the anticipation of Ready Player Two, which is coming out on the 24th, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm going to take you with me. I'll probably try to give you a couple snippets during the day. Just me at work, reading, doing my job. That's it. All right, y'all, I'm checking in. I think I'm at like 5 chapters into Ready Player One. Man, this book holds up. It's so good. And Will Wheaton, Jesus Christ. Oh, I love Will Wheaton. I'm finding that reading this during COVID is giving me crazy parallels that I didn't have before, such as virtual school. Wouldn't that be so cool if it was virtual reality school and not just a bunch of kids trying to put a light on their face so they're not in a shadow and be in the room with the teacher, and you could actually be interactive and go to the Louvre and go to other planets and learn that way. God, that'd be so cool. I love this book. Hey y'all, it's the next day. I am at work, and tomorrow is the start of my long weekend, and I'm so excited. Every 5 weeks we get a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and so I have time this weekend to do all the things. I'm currently on chapter 27, I believe, of Ready Player One. And I'm on my lunch break right now. I was gonna go film by the lake, but it was insanely windy, and now my hair looks, well, my hair always kind of looks like I've been in a windstorm, but now it's true, because there are certain things that I didn't remember from the first time I read it. I also love that the challenges are different in the book and in the movie, because it allows you to enjoy the movie without nitpicking, because you understand that they're taking a different course, and really the characters don't change. The book goes into more detail, and this is why we love books, because you get inside. The 80s pop culture references are on point. Just enjoyable, fun read. I love the thrill of the game. I love the challenges. I love the love story. Every person has shades of gray. We're not all, good or bad or black and white. It's a beautiful thing to kind of take those little parts of us and examine the human nature. Anyway, I can see that in this writing, and I'm enjoying it. Hey guys! So, it's the end of the weekend. I just finished Ready Player One for the second time, and I just finished writing about it in my little book, trying to figure out what I thought, put all of my thoughts together in my head here, and I want to discuss it. So today is Sunday. Ready Player Two comes out on Tuesday, 2 days. I gave this book 5 stars the first time. I gave it 5 stars the second time. It's an awesome book. It's great writing. I need to look. Where do I need to look? Over here? I still have to figure this out. Ernest Cline's writing is just great. I love that it's in first person. I feel like it makes it more relatable. I just love reading in first person in general. But some of the high points are the games. I love the games. This is a dystopian, so a no-brainer for me. I love dystopians. I love a rags to riches or a, inheritance trope, which is in this book. I love Will Wheaton, who is the narrator of the audiobook that I listened to, and he's amazing. He's also narrating Ready Player 2, so that'll be great. The only criticism I have of this book is, and it's kind of a stretch even at that, is that the love story doesn't feel as full as it should be. It almost feels too slow, and it feels rushed at the same time. And maybe that's realistic. I don't know, there's just something about the love story that doesn't click for me. But this is not a love story. I mean, it is, but it's also not. It's a life story. So it doesn't have to be the main focus, and it shouldn't be. Okay, let me say this. I have not even read the description for Ready Player 2. So I have no idea what this second book is going to be about. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to guess what this second book's going to be about, and then I'm going to read the description with you. You probably already know what it's going to be about. I haven't read it yet, so we'll see. Okay, so spoilers, if anybody hasn't read Ready Player 1, skip forward like 4 minutes. Maybe not even that much. I don't know. Okay, so the book ends. Artemis and Parzival, or Samantha and Wade, have met in person. They're on the rooftop. They've kissed. And it kind of just leaves it open-ended. Now, in the movie, they have this whole happily ever after, cuddling on the couch. Oh, and then they shut down Oasis 2 days a week or whatever it was, so that they could focus more on real life and on each other, which is a nice sentiment. But I don't believe Ernest Cline would base the second book based off of what they're going to do on the movie. So that holds no weight. My hope for the second book is that there's going to be a whole new plot of challenges. Some of the things that make this book so great can't be recreated in a second book, so I'm nervous. Like the whole 80s pop culture stuff, they can't really do that again because Halliday's gone, and there's no reason for it now. Of course, it's ingrained in their culture, but if he continues with that, I don't know, it might be strange. And then the games, there's no reason for the games or the challenges now because they've already won. So I'm guessing the second book is going to be more about their relationship between Samantha and Wade. Okay, I'm going to admit to something here. When I was looking up the synopsis, I tried so hard not to look, but I saw one word, and it was quest. And so there's going to be a quest. I know that now. So some kind of quest. What do they need? Samantha wants to save the world. Wade wanted to, before he met her, make some giant spaceship continent for himself and flee the planet. So that might be where they have some tension. There's a quest, then he's got to set the second book up with some kind of crisis and conflict. And then there's a quest, and they have to solve this. There's definitely going to be relationship drama. There's definitely going to be new characters. So I'm excited about that. Let me go get that description, and I will find out what this book's supposed to be about. Okay. I did not mean to print this out so big. Look at that. It's very official. All right, let's read it. So, Ready Player 2, An Unexpected Quest. That's what I saw. 2 worlds at stake. Are you ready? Days after Oasis founder James Halliday's contest, Wade Watts makes a discovery that changes everything, setting up the conflict. Hidden within Halliday's vault, waiting for his heir to find, lies a technological advancement that will once again change the world and make the Oasis 1,000 times more wondrous and addictive. than even Wade dreamed possible. Oh my God, this sounds so good. Okay, with it comes a new riddle and a new quest, yes! So there will be challenges. A last Easter egg from Halliday hinting at a mysterious prize, and an unexpected, impossibly powerful, and dangerous new rival awaits. One who will kill millions to get what he wants. Wade's life and the future of the Oasis are again at stake. But this time, the fate of humanity also hangs in the balance. Oh my God! Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay. Oh, that was top notch. It's 9:59. I have to get up at 5. So I need to go to bed. Now I'm all riled up even more. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's it. Next time I see you, I'm going to start reading Ready Player 2. Let's do this. Alright, hey guys. So I am working, obviously. I'm 9 hours in to a 12.5 hour day. It is the day after Thanksgiving. Had a great Thanksgiving. Ate lots of turkey. And I'm listening to Ready Player 2. So here's what happened. I started it on Tuesday, the day it came out, the 24th. I got about 5 chapters in, and I got nervous. Started thinking, is this going how I want it to go? I'm not sure. I was on a precipice, and I was saying, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this or not. I ended up turning it off because I was afraid that if I kept going, I don't know, I just put so much pressure on this book for myself, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to like the direction it was going in, and I kind of, in a fight or flight situation, I froze. Fight, flight, or freeze, I froze. And so I had to pause for a little bit because I just didn't want to taint my image of Ready Player 1 if it wasn't going to go well, and then there was Thanksgiving and all of that, and so I took a break. I'm back in. I'm about halfway through now, and I'm feeling much better. But I just wanted to check in with you guys, let you know I am reading the second book. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I am going to tell you what I think of it. So there's that. Also, why don't you check out the awesome view that I have on my route. I don't know what you can see here. Oh, there's the skyline of Dallas. Hold on, I'm gonna roll down the starting window here. What can you see? Look how awesome that is. I don't know if you can see the skyline or not. It's over there. Oh, lots of bike riders too. Gotta watch out for that. Always paranoid I'm going to run into somebody. But anyway, I gotta get back to it. Lots of mail to deliver. I'll check back in later. Hi, I'm back. And I have finished reading Ready Player 2. I have tons of thoughts on this. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. But first, say hello to my stepdaughter, Hadley. Hadley, say hi. Hi. Okay. She's gonna be hanging out with us today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go over some of my positives, some of the negatives that I feel, and now that this has been out for a couple of weeks, spoiler alert, it's taken me a long time to not finish this, but to explore my thoughts and do some research and figure out what exactly I think of this, because it's just all over the place, and I've put so much pressure on this book. Okay, so without further ado, some of the positive things that I enjoyed about this book are, of course, the pop culture references. We delved into a lot of pop culture references. Pop culture. Pop? Culture. Yes. from the 80s and the 90s. We heard Back to the Future. We heard about every single John Hughes film. We heard about Prince. We heard about Good Will Hunting. They even mentioned Gullah Gullah Island, which, being a kid that grew up in the 90s, I loved that show, and I was super excited when I heard that reference. Other things that I enjoyed, of course, the challenges. There were 7 challenges in this book. I'll get into more later about how I feel that went, but of course that's always fun. We met some new characters along the way, and of course there was a little bit of controversy that comes along with that, but again, we will also get into that later. I just enjoyed that we got to spend more time in this world. So we did get to spend more time with the characters that we enjoy. Sadly, I'm not trying to cover your face, but you just happen to be right behind where my book goes. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. There were a lot of interesting ideas about this new tech and the morality of that and the consequences of that, although I don't feel like we fully explored that in a way that I would have wanted it to. It didn't take it quite as far as I imagined they might. Also, there was a big old twist at the end, which I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything for y'all. But I'm going to go as in-depth as I can without doing that. We also brought up some environmental issues in this book, which is chillingly similar to what we're dealing with in reality right now. So that, I think, was a smart choice on Ernest Cline's part, but as you will see, the follow-through on these issues that he brings up are problematic in my opinion. One of the best aspects of this book, aside from the quest, aside from the pop culture references, is that we have Wade as the underdog and we're rooting for Wade. And not only that, but this book ends on a note of hope, and hope for the future and hope for humanity. Now, the issue that I have with this one in that respect is that we open following Wade just like a week after the first book ends, and he is getting caught up in his fame, in his wealth, and he goes from plucky to sucky, basically. And that was my issue when I picked up the book initially and read the first 5 chapters, and I thought, holy shit, I hate Wade now, so this sucks. His character development does come around later on, and it is clear that disliking Wade at the beginning of this book is intentional on the part of Ernest Cline. But I did grapple with that. Also, is this book YA? Because I don't know. This book is definitely darker than Ready Player One on many levels. And a lot of that does have to do with Wade's characterization and his choices. But not just that. Also, this new technology has some sinister repercussions. So I personally enjoy that. I enjoy exploring human nature, and that includes the darker side of human nature and the things we do as people by ourselves or online, quote unquote, and how I like exploring the idea that it's easier online to basically be an asshole because you have this anonymity that you don't have in real life. And I think part of that is the reason that Wade's character does some of the things that he does, and I think it's something that most people would do in that situation, whether they're willing to admit that or not. But some of the ideas in this book are hypersexualized, are dark, are sinister, are not necessarily for children. So I'm not sure how this book has been marketed, if it's been marketed as a YA or as adult fiction. I'm not sure, but this is adult fiction. That's what I'm saying. This one could be YA. This one's adult fiction for sure. So, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Wade is dealing with his newfound power. And like I said, I don't mind this because it is human nature, and I don't think that defines Wade, even though it is a character flaw. Another issue that I have is that the environmental issues and the morality issues of this new tech that are brought up in this book are never addressed. They kind of bring them up in the beginning, and then this twist happens, and then they just say, okay, everything's good now, peace out, see you later. And so I'm not really cool with that. I feel like whereas Ready Player One ended on a note of hope, this kind of ends on a note of, it leaves me in a place that I felt still terrified for humanity. So that's not good. A lot of media, a lot of critics are berating this book because of a passage or two that comes across as transphobic. Before I get into this, I want to preface this by saying I would like to be an ally. I suppose I can't make myself one, but I have done quite a bit of research on this topic since reading this in order to be as informed as I possibly can on this subject. I believe that Ernest Cline has put in a lot of effort to be more inclusive in this book. It's not for me to say whether that is because he truly feels like it's something that he should use his platform to do, or if it's because he got some criticism in Ready Player One for that same thing and wanted to appease his audience by adding more representation in this book. So that being said, I appreciate that. I appreciate that he's trying to be affirming of trans and non-binary folks, and that he put in that effort. However, he did raise the subject. He did not have to go there, and he did not do his research, which is why I wanted to make sure I did my research. And again, I'm not all-knowing. I'm mainly focused on a YouTuber called Jessie Gender, who I will link her show below. And she explains it beautifully in a way that is concise and educated and wonderful. And she certainly, as a transgender woman, knows more about this subject than I do. But I do want to just graze the subject and bring it up so that I can do my part to be an ally. So, the passage that is in question, I'm going to read for you. He's discussing one of the new characters, Lohengrin, and how he is, Wade Watts, is going into her profile and illegally getting her information, which he has the power to do, being the head of this company. So he says her records included a scan of her birth certificate, which revealed another surprise. She'd been DMAB, designated male at birth. Discovering that minor detail did not send me spiraling into a sexual identity crisis the way it probably would have when I was younger. Thanks to years of surfing the ONI net, I now knew what it felt like to be all kinds of different people having all kinds of different sex. I'd experienced sex with a woman while being another woman, and sex with a man as both a man and a woman. I'd done playback of several different flavors of straight, gay, and non-binary sex, just out of pure curiosity, and I'd come away with the same realization that most ONI users came away with. Passion was passion, and love was love, regardless of who the participants involved were or what sort of body they were assigned at birth. That is the passage that I think is getting the most attention for being transphobic. And so I'm going to try to break it down just a little bit for you in the way that I kind of broke it down, and Jessie Gender did as well, and try to explain why that is problematic. So basically, you can express transphobia unintentionally, and I think that's what is happening here. I think it's pretty clear that Ernest Cline is trying to be affirmative, but he's failing because he clearly did not do his research. He didn't ask a trans or non-binary person to, hey, look at this, is this accurately depicting and representing you? And so that's the problem, especially because this book deals with themes of how pop culture influences people. And this book, having the platform that it does, influences people. And if this is the representation that they're getting in a way that is fetishizing and sexualizing trans or non-binary folks, then that's how they're going to be viewed, and that's why it's harmful. He doesn't explore the ideas any farther than how it affects him. It's basically reinforcing that trans and non-binary people are different or strange, as opposed to giving this an opportunity to just let it be, to just have it be what it is, and not have to point out that it's different. For example, when he says, I've done playback of several different flavors of straight, gay, and non-binary sex, saying that it's still different. It still doesn't fit into his idea of just sex. That being said, I give him credit for trying, because it is a step. It's taking a step. But considering the platform he has, considering all the hype of this book coming out, he didn't put the effort in to make sure what he was representing was accurate, and that makes me sad. So generally, my overview of this book, I still gave it 3.5 stars. I still enjoyed reading it. I know I went on and on about quite a few things, but I did still enjoy this book. Did it need to exist? I'm not sure. In fact, I'm gonna say no, it didn't need to exist, but I'm not mad that I read it. I did feel like the pacing in general of this book was off. A lot of the first third of the book was setting up the new tech, was setting up the new Wade, was really hard to get through. Then we got to the quest, and that felt so rushed, and just one after the other because of the time frame that was put on this. And then there's this distorted wrap up, and that part was just strange. The quest was fun, the pop culture references were fun. I didn't hate it, but not my favorite book. Still love the first one better. If you're still with me, thank you so much for hanging out with me this week, this last couple weeks, however long this has taken me to film, because it's been a journey. But thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see the little bell on there. If you'll click the bell, it will alert you when I release a video. I am going to try to be consistent about releasing videos every Wednesday, so keep your eye out for that. If you have any suggestions on stuff you would like to hear me cover that's book related or bookish, if you feel I have misrepresented trans or non-binary people in any way in this discussion, please tell me. That is not my intent. My intent is to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.